15 fights. What's he talking about power? He's never had power. Oh, my DNA's strong. Don't worry about that.
The boxing world is never short of heated buildups, and one of the most captivating rivalries brewing today is between Conor Benn and Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Known for their fierce fighting styles and bold personalities, both fighters have been exchanging words, and their tension is only rising. Recently, Conor Benn released a threatening statement aimed directly at Gervonta Davis, stirring up even more excitement among boxing fans.
No problem to me. You know, you want to fight, let's fight then. You know, no concern to me. We can have it anywhere. We can have it over there, we can have it here, we can have it in the telephone box.
Conor Benn, the British welterweight sensation, has never been one to shy away from a challenge. His rapid rise in the boxing world has been marked by impressive victories and an unrelenting drive to prove himself as one of the best. Benn's aggressive approach in the ring and his confidence outside of it have earned him a growing fan base. However, it's his recent comments about Gervonta Davis that have put him in the spotlight once again.
What the talking about? He ain't knocked no one out in his last 15 fights. What's he talking about power? He's never had power. Oh, my DNA's strong. Don't worry about that.
Gervonta Davis, on the other hand, is still proving himself in the lightweight division. With a string of knockouts and a reputation for being one of the hardest hitters in the sport, Davis has established himself as a formidable opponent. His association with Floyd Mayweather Jr., even though currently dying, has always added to his mystique, making him a target for many aspiring champions.
You know, so when you want to talk about power, he's just jealous because he's never had none. You know, if he wants to come find out about the power, I'll more than happily show him. He can. In
his verbal jabs to Tank, Benn didn't mince words. He called out Davis directly, questioning his abilities and challenging his toughness. Benn's message was clear. He believes that he can take on Davis and come out on top. Tank Davis has been ducking real competition for too long, Benn said. He thinks he's untouchable, but he hasn't faced someone like me. I'm ready to show the world that I'm not just talk. I want him in the ring, and I want to settle this once and for all. This isn't the first time Benn has targeted Davis. The two have exchanged barbs on social media, with each fighter trying to get under the other's skin. Their rivalry has been building for months, with fans eagerly anticipating the possibility of a showdown. And while Benn has been vocal about his desire to fight Davis, the American boxer has been more reserved, choosing to focus on his current bouts. However, Benn's latest statement has reignited the conversation, leaving many wondering if Davis will finally respond. However, this was not the end. Earlier on, around the time Tank had been arrested, Benn had even tougher words to throw at Tank. In one interview with IFL TV, Benn revealed that his promoter, Eddie Hearn, had put forth a substantial offer of $10 million to $15 million for Davis to face him in the ring. This potential mega fight has captured the attention of fans, as Benn's provocative statements have added a layer of intrigue to the potential showdown. Conor Benn's challenge came with a hefty financial incentive, but it's not just the money that's making headlines. Benn's bold words had upped the ante, suggesting that if Davis refused the offer, he should have stayed at home under house arrest with his toe tag on. This remark was a clear reference to Davis's recent legal troubles, where he was placed under house arrest following a hit-and-run incident. Benn's statement is a direct jab, questioning Davis's seriousness and willingness to step up for a big fight.
That he believes he'll sleep little man Gervonta Davis. First of all, why are you sitting here worrying about Gervonta Davis if he's what you're calling a quote-unquote little man?
If $10 million to $15 million ain't enough, then stay quiet, stay at your house with your little tag on your ankle, with your house arrest rather than piping up on Twitter, Benn declared. This call-out was not just about securing a fight, it was a challenge to Davis's pride and reputation. Benn's challenge also extends to other fighters, notably Errol Spence Jr., the former unified welterweight champion. Spence, who has been vocal on social media, has also found himself in Benn's crosshairs. Ben criticized Spence for piping up on Twitter without following through with actions. If you fancy your chances, we can fight. It's the same thing with Errol Spence piping up on social media. Let's make the fight then, Ben asserted. Spence has been relatively quiet in the ring since his devastating loss to Terrence Crawford, where he suffered a significant defeat. Ben's challenge to Spence, while unlikely to materialize immediately given Spence's recent punishment, adds another layer of drama to the current boxing landscape. Eddie Hearn's offer to Gervonta Davis is serious, and it's designed to test Davis's resolve. The sizable purse is meant to lure Davis into the ring against Ben, and it's a fight that promises to be a spectacle. For Ben, this is an opportunity to prove himself against one of the sport's most feared punchers. For Davis, accepting the fight would mean a significant payday and a chance to silence his critics. A serious offer has been made. Let's see if he's all talk. Don't start piping up on Twitter and then don't sign the contract, Ben emphasized. This statement puts Davis in a position where declining the fight could be seen as a sign of weakness or fear, especially after such a public challenge. But there's more to it. The sparks began to fly following Ben's recent victory, where he dominated the scorecards against Peter Dobson, marking his second fight in the United States since the controversy surrounding his failed drug tests prior to his scheduled bout with Chris Eubank Jr.
Will your son ever be champion?
As long as he thinks it's about the belts he has around his waist, no, he'll never be a champion. It's only about how people feel.
Despite Ben's dominant performance, which saw him win decisively with scores of 119, 109, 118, 110, and 118, 110, Davis was quick to criticize. Ben, known as the Destroyer, snapped back at Davis's comments, calling out Tank again to make it official instead of resorting to trash talk on social media. Ben didn't mince words, urging his promoter, Eddie Hearn, to help facilitate a deal between them.
But, he didn't really want to entertain the conversations. No problem with it. He's scared to fight Conor Benn. Of course he's not. Just obviously has other plans. And if
Ben had taken to social media to announce his desire to face top-tier opponents, including Devin Haney, Chris Eubank Jr., Errol Spence Jr., Kell Brook, and Mario Barrios. It was this tweet that drew Davis's mockery, with the Baltimore native replying, "No funny the way you looked last night. Give me 3 weeks and a weekend in Turks and your ass is grass, you hear me?" Ben's response was swift and scathing. He called Davis the woman-beating munchkin from Oz and challenged him to make the fight happen. Davis, never one to back down, shot back with a taunt of his own. "Sure, why not? Where would you like you whooping at bruv?" The exchange quickly escalated, with Ben daring Davis not to be all talk and urging Eddie Hearn to get the fight made. "Don't be all talk either, you little shrimp. Eddie Hearn, drop the munchkin a DM and get this fight made next. I'm sure he'll screenshot the conversation anyway, so we will see who's full of shit. See you soon," Ben fired back. Davis welcomed the challenge, tweeting, "I'll be waiting for Eddie Hearn." Ben concluded the back and forth by promising to meet Davis in the center of the ring and knock his head off. He even jabbed at Davis's height, quipping, "Like I said, I'm small, but this little shit can't even get on a roller coaster at Disneyland. Me and you next. I'll meet you in the center of the ring, and we will see who's left standing because I'll knock your head off and send it back to Oz. Hashtag Munchkin." As days passed without a formal response from Eddie Hearn, Davis grew impatient. He took to social media again, writing, "Conor Benn, I'm still waiting." Ben assured him that the message was coming and took another swipe at Davis's legal troubles, hinting at his domestic violence charges. "It's coming, don't worry. Eddie Hearn slide in before the little fella gets mad and chins his misses.
Conor Benn versus Tank Davis. It was reportedly turned down by Tank. Saw some news about maybe 25 million being an offer potentially Tank that he didn't even entertain. Can you speak to any of that?
No, it definitely wasn't that much money. I mean, it was a base offer. I've already said it was 8 figures, but with pay-per-view bonus.
Eddie Hearn finally responded, tweeting "done" with a handshake emoji, signaling that the fight negotiations were underway. Ben couldn't resist one last dig, suggesting Davis would likely screenshot the conversation. Let's just wait Gervonta Lumpa to screen grab the conversation with a rat emoji. Davis in turn reassured everyone that they were on the same page, replying with 2 emojis including a winking face and a clock. No need, we are all on the same page.
Gervonta tweeting about me when? Little dweeb. Comes up to my hip height. Can't come near me.
Ben reiterated his call for action, urging everyone to ensure the fight happens next. Don't be all talk either. Let's make sure this happens next. Me and you center of the ring, and we will see who's left standing. Eddie Hearn, now amused by the situation, commented on the sheer number of fighters calling out Conor Benn. He tweeted, "Is there anyone between 140 and 160 pounds who doesn't want to fight Conor Benn? Whole world calling his name. Big fight next."
Enderman, what's happening, bro? You good? No, Eubanks has lost his pen. He should just retire.
Ben echoed Hearn's sentiments in an interview with Boxing Social, expressing frustration over his prolonged absence from the ring, yet pride in being the most wanted man in Britain and the welterweight division. "I'm a promoter's dream. Now what more do you want me to do?" Ben stated. He then again listed the numerous fighters who have called him out, including Devin Haney, Kell Brook, Chris Eubank Jr., Gervonta Davis, Josh Taylor, and Josh Kelly.
Funniest thing, my dad just started laughing.
Where's his name on the belt? Is his name on the belt? Has he fought the Eubanks? Has he fought the Watson? Has he fought the Iron Barkley?
Ben's confidence in his marketability and fighting prowess shines through his statements. He feels vindicated by the interest in him despite not having fought for a year and a half. "I haven't fought for a year and a half, and I'm still there. Still at the tops of people's tongues, still at the forefront of people's minds in these mega fights," Ben said. The anticipation for his return to the ring and the eagerness of top fighters to face him underscores his status as a significant player in the sport.
No matter what he says, no matter how he chooses to come across and takes the limelight, it's all that's
He's
just...
an idiot.
Ben's frustration is evident, not just with Eubank Jr., whom he dismisses as a big name, but with the overall situation. "It's frustrating, not because of Eubank, so I couldn't care less about him. Just a big name, just anyone. Like any one of the names mentioned, let's make it happen," Ben emphasized.
He needs to teach his little kid some manners, some lessons, you know, so if he wants to come, I'll deal with him.
Now to be fair, Davis fired the first shot. He ripped Ben for his recent performance and claimed that he could stop him if they jumped into the ring. Ben, of course, enjoys talking smack. By the time they finished throwing all sorts of threats at one another, both Eddie Hearn, Ben's promoter, and Davis stated that a deal was being worked on. If the two were to get it on, countless fans would tune in. But watching someone who is significantly bigger positioned himself for a showdown against a smaller man is something Brian "Bomac" McIntyre doesn't respect.
I think he looked like trash. I didn't even watch the fight. I just heard, some of the coaches was watching it, and I was basically driving, and they were just saying
From his point of view, Ben needs to leave Davis alone. If he truly wants to fight so badly, he should do the right thing and pick on someone his own size. Why would he go down there and pick on guys at 35 and 40? Bomac told a group of reporters, "Why don't you mess with those guys at 47 and 54? Call those guys out."
Why would he go down there and pick on guys at 35 and 40? Why don't you mess with those guys at 54, 47 and 54? Mess with those guys. Call those.
The potential clash between Gervonta Davis and Conor Benn has stirred significant debate among boxing enthusiasts and experts. Davis, with an undefeated record and a high knockout ratio, is known for his devastating power and skill in the ring. His critique of Ben's performance wasn't just a casual remark, it was a challenge that questioned Ben's abilities and resilience. Davis's confidence in his ability to stop Ben in a fight added fuel to the fire, leading to a heated exchange on social media.
So I don't think much of him. I really don't know. I really don't know of him. I just hear his name, you know.
Ben, on the other hand, is no stranger to controversy and trash talk. His fiery responses and eagerness to take on Davis highlight his desire to prove himself against top-tier competition. Ben's willingness to engage with Davis in his public call-outs demonstrate his commitment to securing high-profile fights despite the challenges he faces outside the ring, including his recent issues with failed drug tests.
You know what I'm saying? If you really want to, you know, fight somebody, go up there and fight the ones that the best, the 54-pounders, the 47-pounders.
The involvement of Eddie Hearn adds a layer of legitimacy to the potential matchup. According to Bomac, Hearn, a well-respected promoter, has the influence and resources to make this fight a reality. His public statements about working on a deal indicate that there is serious interest from both sides, making the prospect of a Davis versus Benn showdown more tangible. However, the size disparity between the two fighters has raised concerns. Brian Bomac McIntyre, a respected trainer in the boxing community, has voiced his disapproval of the matchup.
I'll fight him wherever. You know, I'm doing a little American tour at the moment, so, you know, I'll fight him wherever.
According to Bomac, Ben should focus on fighters in his own weight class rather than targeting someone significantly smaller. His comments reflect a broader concern about the fairness and integrity of such matchups, emphasizing the need for fighters to compete within their appropriate weight divisions. While fans are eager for thrilling matchups, it's crucial that these fights are made within the confines of fair play and sportsmanship. Ben's pursuit of a fight with Davis, despite the size difference, raises questions about his intentions and whether he is seeking a genuine challenge or an easy win against a smaller opponent.
He's a snake in a suit. That's all. He's a snake.
Hey, talking about Eddie Hearn?
Bro, he let what's the guy's name? Conor Benn test positive.
But the battle of words doesn't end here. Earlier, Gervonta Davis publicly criticized Conor Benn's promoter, Eddie Hearn, over his handling of a controversial situation. Davis's frustration stemmed from Hearn's involvement with Benn despite the latter's failed substance tests. This issue has cast a shadow over Ben's career, and Davis didn't hold back in voicing his opinion on the matter.
You know, he's got quick hands, he's got fast feet, he's athletic. Not more than me. You know, if he wants to talk...
Davis first tweeted, "Why didn't they ban Eddie Hearn for still trying to have fights after he knew a fighter was cheating and still tried to continue with the boxing match?" This tweet highlighted Davis's disapproval of Hearn's actions and questioned the integrity of the promoter in allowing Benn to continue fighting under such circumstances. Hearn, never one to shy away from a confrontation, responded in an interview calling Davis weird for frequently deleting his tweets soon after sending them. This remark didn't sit well with Davis, who followed up with another tweet. "What you talking about? Why did you try to continue a boxing fight when you knew a fighter was dirty at the rate Eddie Hearn?" Davis's persistence in questioning Hearn's decisions kept the controversy alive, drawing more attention to the ongoing debate about ethics and fairness in boxing. At the time, Conor Benn remained silent, opting not to engage in the back and forth between Davis and Hearn. However, Benn recently broke his silence, pointing back to Davis's arrest. The arrest added another layer of drama to the unfolding saga, further complicating the potential fight between Davis and Benn.
Dylan White, after testing positive, see, I didn't even know that. Bro, he's a snake, bro. He's bad for
Would you
business.
fight Conor Benn?
Yes, if he off that shit.
Seizing the moment, Benn tweeted, "At the rate Gervonta, don't throw stones if you live in a glass house, little man." This tweet was a direct reference to Davis's criticism of Hearn and Benn, implying that Davis should focus on his own issues rather than attacking others. Tank was quick to fire back, albeit in a since-deleted post. His response read, "Get off them substances and come holla at me. I'll show you a glass house and a glass jaw UF King bum. Cold bum at that." The aggressive tone of Davis's reply highlighted the animosity between the two fighters and underscored the personal nature of their feud.
On an Eddie Hearn show?
Huh?
On an Eddie Hearn show? Or does it need
No,
to be?
because I can't trust Eddie Hearn. You can't trust Eddie Hearn.
The animosity between Benn and Davis isn't just a product of their personalities, it's also a reflection of the competitive nature of boxing. Both fighters are at pivotal points in their careers. Benn is looking to establish himself as a top contender in the welterweight division, while Davis continues to solidify his dominance in the lightweight category. A fight between the two would not only settle their personal feud, but also have significant implications for their careers. Currently, the prospect of a fight between Conor Benn and Gervonta Tank Davis remains uncertain. While Benn has been vocal about his desire to face Davis, the latter has several potential matchups on his radar. Among the most talked about possibilities are fights with Shakur Stevenson and Vasily Lomachenko. Shakur Stevenson has been eyeing a clash with Davis for some time. Both fighters are known for their speed and technical prowess, making this a highly anticipated matchup. Stevenson's slick boxing style could pose a unique challenge for Davis, and fans are eager to see how these two young stars would fare against each other.
Yeah, boxing.
Yeah.
Me and Tank the biggest fight.
That's the one.
It's the biggest fight in the world.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be the biggest boxing fight in the world when it happens.
Vasily Lomachenko is another potential opponent for Davis. Despite his recent controversial loss to Devin Haney, who was said to be taken down by Tank, Lomachenko remains one of the most skilled and respected fighters in the sport. A fight between Davis and Lomachenko would be a battle of experience versus power, with Lomachenko's intricate footwork and ring IQ clashing against Davis's explosive knockout ability.
I like Devin Haney, so I don't know why he's carrying on like that. If he wants to come to England and come up to 147, no problem. Not a problem. You think it's going to be an easy touch? No problem.
As of now, no official announcements have been made regarding Davis's next fight. Negotiations and promotional interests play significant roles in determining these matchups. While the Ben Davis rivalry adds an exciting narrative to the mix, the logistics and timing of a potential fight remain to be seen. Whether Davis will prioritize a bout with Benn, Stevenson, or Lomachenko first is still up in the air, leaving boxing enthusiasts eagerly waiting for the next big announcement.
Now back home to Essex, Liverpool, you are unbelievable. The reception I got was absolutely incredible, and it's quite nothing like it, to be honest.
What do you think about this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more updates.